Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the last segment of Youth Matters, where we're discussing bullying. Now, statistics show that 1 in 4 teachers will only intervene if they see bullying taking place. And that's quite shocking because obviously in a school setting, we expect our teachers to intervene immediately. একটা স্টাডি দেখাইছে সাইড টিচার এক টিচারে সাইড জনের মাঝে তাই যদি দেখুন বুলিং হইয়া যায় ক্লাসরুমও না স্কুলও কুচ্ছু করবা আমরা জানতাম চাই খেনে চাৰিজনৰ মাজে একজনে কৰবা আৰু চকলে কৰই নাখেনে স্কুলৰ মাজে আমরা ছাত্ৰন্তৰে দেই জেলা তারা সেফ থাকে সো এটা শুনিয়া আৰু চিন্তা বাড়ে সো আপনারা নানি ঘুরাই আমরা খৌকা এই লাস্ট সেগমেন্টে আমরা কিতা করতাম পারবো কমিউনিটি হিসাবে সো ইনাফ করন নি খেনে করন না আর কি জিনিস করলে একটারে টাকল করা যাইব in the last segment, we're trying to discuss, we're trying to find solutions. And we've had brilliant callers call in telling us what needs to be done. And we want to hear those things. Because it might be that someone is watching this show right now and they're going through and they're suffering from bullying. And what you say or how you contribute, okay, might actually help them feel that little bit better and make them actually do something to make a change in their life. Because the last thing we want is someone, committing suicide or doing something, hurting themselves because of what they're going through and they can't speak out. Now, Aslam Bhai, before the call, before we went for break, we had a caller call in and say, what is the Islamic perspective on this? How would you answer that question from Islamic perspective?
Allah clearly says in the Quran that not to ridicule someone. Because the one you're ridiculing might be better than you.
Yeah.
And sometimes we judge on people the way they look, the short, or this and that. But to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who has more taqwa is more beloved. That's the way we should look. Yeah? And we cannot measure the taqwa. Yeah? People, ridicule someone else because they think they're lower than themselves.
Sure.
Yeah? So in our society, we measure people differently actually. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala measures everyone according to their taqwa. So that should be our first aim actually. We should never ridicule anyone. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly says that the other person might be much better than you. Yeah?
Thank you. Jazakumullah khair. Atiko, I think we might get some teachers calling in after I ask you this question, but do I dare ask the question, if teachers are bullies? In your experience, have you seen teachers actually bullying? Because we've spoken about the definition of bullying, making someone feel insecure, making someone feel hurt. And we've spoken about the psychological impact that has. Have you witnessed or seen teachers actually bullying or falling into that definition?
I've not personally seen teachers bully a student, or do you mean another teacher? So neither of those two. Maybe a teacher may put pressure on a student just so that they do well, but not in the case of intentionally I want to hurt you because you're not my favorite student because I don't like you, etc. But in the sense that teachers, like you said, the statistics only 1 in 4, 1 in 5 intervene. That, in a sense, can be a problem because you're just a bystander.
Yeah.
And you're not resolving the issue that is in.
Sure. What about yourself, Wahida? Do you feel that sometimes and once again, it could be, we know that bullying can be intentional or unintentional. Aslam Bhai spoke about that in the first segment. Do you think there are teachers who sometimes don't realize the psychological, mental impact they're having on their children, on their students?
They're just putting pressure on them. They don't realize how much pressure they're putting on the students. Students can't handle that much, a lot of pressure on them.
Would you say pressure of that level in some ways is a form of bullying?
Yeah, it is, because too much pressure it will cause the student they can't do it anymore. They're just gonna give up because too much pressure ain't good for them mentally and emotionally as well.
Sure. Aslam Bhai, from a community, just hearing that from two students, we've got two contrasting views. What's your take on this? Do you feel sometimes our teachers might be might fall under the category of actually bullying students? Do you agree with that?
I mean, everything is possible. Bullying happens everywhere, I can say, yeah? Bullying happens between the students, bullying happens between the students and teachers, and bullying happens in community settings. So you cannot say that bullying don't happen between teachers and students. Bullying have different forms, obviously, yeah?
Sure, okay.
I mean, simple things like that, don't you get it? Absolutely so many times.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Sure.
And shaming in front of a whole class. this is another form of bullying.
So Atiku, have you, Aslam speaks about an example, he's given a few examples. Have you seen that in the class where the teachers actually, name and shamed a student for not being able to answer a question without mentioning your teacher?
Yeah, no, without mentioning any teachers. Yeah, in that scenario, yeah, I've seen. It's not really naming and shaming. It's more like you've kind of got that rapport between that teacher and the student, so the teacher knows that he or she can kind of have that. I wouldn't say about humorous kind of joke with the student, and the student understands it and is able to take it.
Have you seen any situations where the teacher's saying that and the student is actually, and we spoke about body language and we spoke about signs, where you have a tension and you can feel that in the class. Have you seen that as well?
As I said, when you first, I don't think I've personally seen it, but sometimes I think that it's kind of that superiority, inferiority kind of thing, where the student kind of then feels inferior to the teacher and hence gets frustrated and it vexes out.
Sure. Okay. What about you, Wahida? Have you seen cases where teachers have actually put down students in front of you and you can see signs that that student is feeling very uncomfortable?
I have seen some cases recently in my past few days, like the teachers.
Without mentioning teachers and school, please.
Like the teachers putting way too much pressure on the student. That
what about verbally saying something?
Like even verbally saying that, oh, you should have done it. Why didn't you do it? I told you to do it.
And is this in front of the class?
It can be in front of the class, and it can be like the student staying behind, like getting detention for no reason why. That will cause the student to feel insecure and feel bullied.
Sure. Okay, it's quite interesting. And in terms of Aslam Bhai, do you think it would be wrong of me to say that could parents be bullies themselves?
Parents can be bullied. As I said, that it comes in different dimension actually. Yeah, between teachers, between students, between parents and children, it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be.
Okay. Atiku, what about bullying amongst, say, family members? Is that something that happens? Do you feel as though that's something that maybe gets ignored, is not discussed as much? Say a younger sibling, older sibling putting a younger sibling down.
I kind of have that kind of human thing with my brothers and my sisters and my siblings, because I'm the youngest one in the family, so I kind of get that that look down upon kind of thing.
But is that more banter than actual bullying?
Yeah, but then you call it banter, but then on the first segment we spoke about what is the difference between banter or bullying. So you got to know that thin line. But I said it's when you build that rapport, you know what you can say and what you can't say. And I think it goes from what we're talking about now is more domestic than, I don't know if you can call it bullying. It's more kind of a domestic problem.
But if it falls within that definition, does it matter where it's taking place?
I'll call it something like domestic abuse or something. Okay. Yeah.
So, but that in itself isn't something that we should shy away from.
No, of course we should. Yeah.
And I guess we should be doing something
about
it.
It's probably a taboo subject in our community as well to speak about.
Thank you. Wahida, in terms of support, because I think we've spoken a lot about it and I think our community understands and appreciates what we're talking about and how big it is. In terms of support, as a student, do you feel there's enough support for bullying?
Not really. There should be more support, because teachers say even though they're saying that there's enough support, there should be more, because you need to take immediate action, because bullying is a serious thing and there should be more support than less support you have now.
So you speak about immediate action. What do you mean by that? Surely schools are, if something as serious as bullying, the teachers would try and deal with that immediately. Am I not right?
Yeah, you are right, but some teachers, they have like procedures to what they're following the plan and that, but that's going to take time, and while that's taking time, the student's going to get more affected than that, and that you should take immediate action, because if the students get affected more, the student might, commit suicide or kill themselves. That's why you should take immediate action, not just follow procedures.
Okay, thank you. we've just had an email sent by a sister who I will keep anonymous, and what she says is she just wanted to share that her 6-year-old suddenly started getting bullied at school, and well, no one, and I'll just read it out. Well, no one would play with him, and boys said they would hurt him as he didn't want to play with some of the boys. As a mum, seeing my child distressed led me to sleepless nights. And we had another caller where they said the same thing. She couldn't sleep at night when she saw those viral videos. The parent then goes on to saying, I advise parents ensuring their children are able to talk to them. Parents need to go straight to the school and demand action. And I think it fits in with what Wahida was saying, that we don't delay it for 3 weeks for it to happen. So demand immediate action in a short space of time. Okay, school policy may be ineffective, so it's the parents' role to push this and also make other parents aware and support other parents, especially those with language barriers. So the parent, you know, touches upon something that's very important. Sometimes maybe our parents know about it, but because of language barrier, I feel as though I can't raise this. And what the mother is saying is, even if you can't speak the language, okay, there's a universal language for justice. You need to go into the school and you need to say, I need an interpreter because I'm really concerned. Not all children speak to their parents, but parents need to notice changes in behavior. Primary children, we need to instill earlier in kids that they can speak to us and how to stand up to bullies. So, Jazakumullah khair, sister, for sending, you know, I think this is really helpful, and it touches upon everything we've been discussing in today's show. Okay, now, Asnamba, you know, the parent is saying this, the student is saying this as well. Why is it that these things are not being done much more quicker?
Yeah, I think if the parent become active, actually, school will speed up the process. Sometimes parents are reluctant, and parents sometimes don't know how to. They don't even know sometimes that the child is bullied, because there are certain symptoms. You see,
but something as serious as this, Aslam Bhai, you know, it raises the question. Why is it not being dealt with immediately? Because, you know, something like bullying, you know, a matter of hours might be the difference between a child being alive and not. And I'm being very extreme here, but. You know, because we don't know how big of an impact it's having. Surely schools must be taking this seriously. I know colleagues who work in school and they say that it's really serious. But from what I'm hearing, you know, the advice seems to be, and the suggestion seems to be that enough isn't being done immediately.
Yeah, I mean, that's the impression I get as well. Because as soon as you report something to the school or the students, if they report to the school, as Wahida said, the school will say, yeah, we're following these procedures, and we're going to have a meeting with the parents, meeting with anti-bullying officer, you know, responsible at the school, and that takes some time, actually, something 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay, so say for example, Aslam Bhai, the school's not a particular school, and I'm not saying this is the practice across all schools, because we have some outstanding schools where the you know, procedures are very sound and they're very effective. Now, tell me, in a school where, what could we do? What could our parents do if there are parents watching at home and thinking the school doesn't do enough? Okay, what could we do collectively, do you think?
I mean, you have parents governing body as well.
Yeah.
You can raise your concern through them. Yeah, you have community leaders, councillors. There's so many means you can put pressures on the school to take actions. If you just sit back and say, "Oh, look, I can't do anything," then nothing will get done.
Do you feel that, you know, from your community perspective, do you feel we're not as active as we should do when it comes to a lot of these things? Yeah,
my understanding is, through my observation, I can see a lot of parents are not concerned, actually. They don't even know what's going on. Yeah, they don't even know. Even a lot of students say that if I talk about bullying with my parents, they won't even believe me.
Subhanallah.
So
it's quite sad to hear that. Yeah. So, Atiko, you tell me, you know, there might be a person watching right now. What should a person do if they feel like they're being bullied? What would you do if it happened to you?
First of all, be an upstander, meaning speak out as soon as before.
Speak to the actual bully, or who do I speak to if it's happening to me?
I'm guessing the scenario would be too hard to speak out to the bully. So speak out to a close family member, whether it's a parent, your brother or your sister, or if it's a close friend or a teacher, someone in authority, someone who can take action. Because as soon as you let it continue and escalate, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and you're going to feel the worst of the scenario.
Sure. Wahida, what kind of things are in place that students can do if they're feeling this way, if they're feeling as though I'm not happy at the moment?
the student can move away from that place, or they should really talk to someone, not like keep it down.
Who do they speak to?
Like a teacher or a close support. If you have any support in school,
Sure.
they should not keep it inside of them. They should really talk to someone. If they like keep inside, they will like affect them really badly, even in the education. So they should really talk to someone instead of keeping inside it.
Sure. Aslam bhai, in terms of support, as parents, what do you think, what should parents be doing to support their children? What should we be doing as parents at home to try and tackle it before it becomes much bigger?
This is where, as a parent, we should spend one-to-one time with our children. Through one-to-one, you get to know try to make sense of the feeling, how the day went, how is it like at school, and try to find out if they're happy or not. If they're not, if you feel they're down, there's something going wrong.
Sure.
You need to take some action.
Sister makes a very good suggestion,
Exactly.
mashallah, where she says from a young age, for her sons in year 6, from a young age, having that relationship, that culture in the house where if there's something wrong, you talk about it.
Yeah,
Okay? And would you say that this is what we need to do from a young age?
of course.
Because,
And I think in the community there's some difficulties. Some parents, they think, oh, if my children, don't speak in front of me, they shy away, they keep away from me. Oh, that means I'm a really good parent. That's taken negatively. Actually,
Yeah. Okay. So
parents should be open. They should welcome the children, come and speak to us about their feelings. Welcome them. Make them feel comfortable.
Okay.
Otherwise, who they going to speak? They will speak with their friends outside.
Yeah. Now, Atiko, in terms of people who are watching this at home, we've spoken about what they can do. What are some of the services what do schools do? You're at university now. So tell me, from your experience, school, college, university, what kind of support is what kind of things are made aware to you, so that you as a student, okay, if this happens to me, I can do this?
Honestly speaking, the period when I found that bullying was spoken to us about how the severity of it was during primary.
Right.
And then when it came to secondary and definitely college and university, it kind of like dissipates the idea of bullying, how to tackle it, what we're going to do, what the action plans are. It just dissipated, and primary is the only time it was mentioned, I think, for me.
Wahida, would you, your last words on this, do you feel there's enough being done?
Not really, no. There should be more. They say that, oh, it's going to be done, don't worry. But, I know this comforts the child, but that doesn't really comfort the parent, don't try to say, because the parent knows how the child's feeling more than the teachers. They should take more action, more things has to be done, not just taking its time.
Okay, thank you. Now, as we come to the end of the show, in summary, I thank all the guests for coming and sharing their knowledge on this and their experiences. I think this will be an ongoing problem until, God willing, it comes to a situation where it doesn't happen. But the way things are happening, this is just the start of this conversation. And I think what we need to do as a community, hearing from our guests, we need to make sure that we have a culture where our children at home, they can speak to their parents. And as a parent, it is your duty. If you're watching this and you're a parent and you've got children, ask yourself, do you know what kind of things your children are going through? And if the answer is no, then we need to start creating those relationships. Otherwise, if something happens to your child, you will be asking yourself, why didn't I do more? So I feel it's very important. And like the sister says, and the callers have said, and our guests have said, you need to get involved with your children's school. You need to go in there and demand it. And I'll tell you what, schools are there. That's why they're there, and they've got support structures. And if, as a parent, you are active, you will see the school responding much quicker. And like our student was saying, our guest, that 3 weeks is a very long time, and within that week, anything can happen. So as a parent, please go and speak to your children. As a young person, please speak to your parents, speak to them, be open to them, because it's nothing is too big or nothing is too small for you to ignore. If there's something that's making you feel uncomfortable, go and do something about it. Because there's always help. আজকে আলহামদুলিল্লাহ আমরা ডিসকাস করলাম বুলিং করতা আর আমরা গেস্ট আইনতে মাশাআল্লাহ তারা কতটা কইছেন আমরা কলার আইনতেও কইছেন কিতা খরাজ আমরা বইনে ইমেল করিও কইছেন আমরা গিয়ে স্কুল আইনতে লগে মাত্তান আপনি প্যারেন্ট হিসাবে আপনি মাত্তেও পারেন না যদি বাঙালি আপনি গেথারা রাখোক আমার এক বাঙালি একজন লাগে যার লগে মাতি আমি বুঝাইতাম পারবো কি যাতে আমার কনসার্ন বিকজ আপনারা গিয়ে যদি স্কুল রেখইন না স্কুল রে বাদে আপনি দুষ্টিতা বার্তা নাই আপনারা গিয়ে যদি বুঝেন স্কুল ইনাফ করেন না আপনারা গিয়ে প্রেশার দরকার আপনারা আমরা আসলাম ভাই কমিউনিটি মেম্বার তাই না কইছেন আমরা সরকার লোকাল কাউন্সিল আছে তারারেও হোক তারার কত জাতি সার্ভিসেস আছে সরকারে কত পয়সা তার মাঝে হারার বা আমরা যদি গিয়ে তার সার্ভিস আইন তোরে গিয়া অ্যাডভান্টেজ নেই না তে আমরা হুরুত আইন তো এফেক্ট হইব সো hopefully inshallah you've benefited from the show and inshallah the conversations we can have and we can actively work together as a community. Thank you for watching and inshallah stay safe. Bala tahoka. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.